Welcome everyone to the OCR Reports coverage of the US Regional South Series. My name is Tyler Mosession. I'm here with Miles Keller. Mr. Keller, how you doing?
How's it going, man? I'm excited to see how this goes in the last race in the Southern Series. What's interesting this year is that they've broken up these championship races to qualify for the overall Spartan US national race in September by the South, the West, and the Northeast. So even
That's
though
right.
we'll be covering Fayetteville today in North Carolina, some people might consider that East Coast, kind of the Northeast, but it's part of the South. So I'm
Yep, part of the
excited to see
South
how this
Series.
goes.
Exactly. Yep, part of the South Series with Palm Beaches being a sprint as well as Jacksonville being a sprint. Now this time we're doing a beast. So for those of you who aren't familiar, the beast race is 13.1 miles, half marathon-ish. So likely to be a little longer, as we all know, with between those carries and those penalty loops. So we're excited to see how this goes, and let's talk about some of the field that might be coming up. I'm sure our producer will soon to have um, the series so far, the standings. But Miles, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to mention there weren't both sprints. I believe one of them was a super. It's a sprint super
One of them was a
beast.
super. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, right. The super was Saturday on Jacksonville, so it was, right. So we got a whole trifecta. We got a super Jacksonville, Palm Springs sprint, and then beast for Fayetteville. So here's the standings so far. We've got Brent Trail in the lead currently. It looks like a first and a second if the points are making sense there. 564. We got Paul Massey 452. Andrew Deonata 348. Richard Chainsaw Rick Shin 348. Adam Beach with his one win, so he was not at Jacksonville, I believe. I believe he was only at Palm Springs with 300. Cameron White, 293. Jacob Bailey, 276. Nick Riker, again, I believe just one race, a third place, if I'm not mistaken, at 264. Mikkel Lauder, 257. And James Robinson, 240.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised. I think Nicholas Riker, he's been focusing on the hybrid scene, the DECA. I know
Mm-hmm.
last year is like, hey, I want to get back into the trail stuff. I want to go back to my roots. And he's super fast. I'm really surprised he's lower down on that list. I really thought he'd be higher up. But hey, he's just getting back
Yeah,
into the groove of things. I expect to see him higher up in the future.
Yeah, I think he's just doing one race, and I do also believe that he's more of a sprint guy. So I don't believe he's going to be in this field today, being the beast race. But I think he is getting back in the mix for sure for some OCR stuff. He's from Nashville, so the South is going to play to his it's going to be his area. Now
Yeah.
let's see if we can get the women up. Yep, here are those women. All right. So we've got Petra Costa with 500 points, Janice McDonald 408, Cassandra Gill, who's probably your favorite with one win at 300, Catherine Hansen with the other win at 300, Louisa Barteldes at 264, Jillian Heller at 236, Jessica Abreu 216, Alexandra Di Falco 204, Lorena Reyes 204 as well, and Alina Camartes 180. Sorry about that, Alina.
Carmenatis. Carmenatis. So important point. There's only six people in six women in the field for this race that you're going to
Mhm.
see here. So not all these ladies are at this race today. These are, hey, some people might show up that happens to be one of the national series races is in their hometown. They want to do it. They do it, so they end up getting points, but they might not be following all the points through. But we'll see. I believe Cassandra shows up here, and possibly is it Janice? I could be wrong about Janice, but
Yeah, I
but
know.
we'll
I know
see going
Cassandra's
in.
in there. Another guy on the men's side that I believe shows up that I did see is Kevin Thompson. He's a great racer from North Carolina, but he's not in the
Yeah.
series. So he's super fast. Definitely a bummer that he didn't do the whole series because he would be competitive most likely. But I'll be looking forward to seeing what he does in this race.
Yeah, not to mention Mike Strobel. He's been having like a couple really great years, super strong. But I think Chainsaw Rick deserves a special shout out. Like he just got, if I remember right, he just got done with like chemo like last year.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
still fresh out of recovering, and talk about a guy that's got mental grit and doesn't stop and keeps going and knows how to overcome the obstacles in life. Good on him. He's high up. He's high
Not
up
not
there in
only
the
that,
rankings.
but yeah, not only that, but Chainsaw Rick is also, if you had to pick one of the most beloved racers throughout the whole community, I mean, he's usually out there doing open laps all day long. You find him at the festival area. He's a hard guy to miss with his long hair and his, exorbitant personality. So, definitely, hopefully to see him at this race. I know he was at our last race in Dallas that OCR report covered. So, But like I said, yeah, always look good to see him on course. And back to Mike Strobel as well. With Mike Strobel, he just raced in New Jersey at the Northeast race. I actually just raced against him. I was neck and neck with him for a good while. So, good to see him going back to back again. I mean, his volume is just insane. He does just about every race on the calendar. He gets after it. If you follow him on
Yeah.
Strava, you'll be very impressed by his
That-
totals.
Did I hear you say that you were right up there with Col de Rosa as well? Man, if you're
That was
next to
right.
Col de
Yep.
Rosa, you're moving.
Yeah,
You
no,
got
I
chops.
was right with Col de Rosa. Yep. Not to spoil the Northeast series, but I took myself an eighth place finish there. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll be commentating my own performance coming up at Palmerton.
All right, all right. Sounds good. Let's get
Yep.
into the
All right.
race.
Yep. So back to the schedule here. So again, we already covered Jackson. Well, we didn't cover, but what happened was Jacksonville Super, Palm Beach's Sprint, and Fayetteville Beast, and this all leads to the North American Championships. I don't know if producer Jason's got a how to qualify, what ranking you might need to get in there, but you need to be at least okay. You need to get at least 25th place in the series. So anybody we're seeing here, we're talking about is probably if you do want to go, you're if yeah, in any race that is. So more likely than not, if you do want to get in, you're probably going to find a way in, right?
Yeah,
We do
and
know the fields are not usually that large.
what I think is interesting is that look how far away September 19th is going to be the U.S. national race. That's
Hmm.
significantly far away from May. So
Hmm.
that's I don't think they've done that in the past. But I also find it interesting. Sometimes it's all sprints. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
no beasts or
this time it's
whatnot. They'll
trifecta,
interchange them.
right?
Sometimes it's trifecta. And I'm just curious as to what the logic is, why they make those decisions. And but we'll see how it
Exactly.
plays out. And I guess maybe encompasses more athletes. Like you say, hey, like I only like the sprints. I like the shorter stuff. So I don't
Hmm.
do well at the long stuff. Maybe this is a way of including the guys that are good at the beast and the longer distances. So we'll see.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So we've got. I'm going to talk about the venue next. So we're going to be at McCormick Farms here, and I did this race back in 2023. I actually did the ultra, so I'm quite familiar with this course. I will say, it's a very pancake flat course. I believe my ultra had like 1,500 feet of elevation gains, so it's going to be a quick one for sure. Um, we probably won't go into the nitty gritty about obstacles here too much, or maybe we will. But for everyone who's been following us for a while, you'll see the standard obstacles. You'll see your hurdles. The twister's pretty early. All right, it's listed as obstacle 2 there. As we kind of zoom out
Yeah,
here, but
just a quick,
go ahead.
brief note. I think it's important to say that only 24 of these obstacles were actually on course. Some of these other ones were just for the ultra course, but tonight we're just going to be looking at 24 obstacles.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, so for those of you who may have not watched a beast per se, the ultra does follow the beast 2 laps, then plus an additional little bit on the first lap. As we are our elites running through, the ultra does start at 6 a.m. at the earliest. It goes from 6 a.m. for a few waves up till 7 a.m. So we are going to see some slower ultra folks right away, probably within the first mile or two. We'll see some of our top beast competitors catch up to some ultras for sure. So keep that in mind. Anybody in purple, most likely not the race we're talking about, but good on them for doing the ultra. That's not an easy race for sure.
Yep. And if you're new to this, you're going to be looking for the course we'll be watching today is the green. That's going to be representative of the beast. The purple will be the ultra. Red is usually sprint.
Yep. And to talk about the I would say if we want to talk about the rules a little bit quickly too. Any obstacle that is failable, aka anything you could fall off of or drop the bag for Hercules hoist, that's going to be a penalty loop. And then anything without a penalty loop is going to be mandatory, such as your barbed wire crawl, sandbag carry, etc. And then for your spear throw, you're going to have to do 30 burpees if you miss the spear throw, which I believe the spear throw is at the very end. That's obstacle 30. So we'll have to keep in mind that as we come down the stretch here. But as we get into some of these first early obstacles, a few of the beast obstacles that we don't typically see on a sprinter super, you're going to get the Irish tables, just an up and over there, but can be pretty tough, especially if you're a shorter competitor. And then we've got a Triolian traverse, which is essentially a horizontal rope climb. But again, for our elite competitors, generally not too much of a challenge. Looking
Really
down
want to
below
make sure,
more.
really want to make sure you got long socks on for that. It's very easy,
Yeah.
but if you drag your legs against it, it is. If you have short socks, super easy to get really bad burn on your legs. So, a little pro
Mhm.
tip: bring
Yep.
long socks.
Absolutely.
Compression.
Absolutely. So, yep. So, in after Trillium Traverse, we're gonna see the armor, and then there's no vertical cargo. Although our map on obstacle number 9 does say there's a vertical cargo. Again, no vertical cargo. So, we'll just be skipping right through that one, and then we get up onto what appears to be the super and sprint course as well. So we get right into some walls here. Just easy 4 foot, 6 foot, a sandbag carry. I see what's called the T wall. I believe that is just going to be our standard Z wall for just the climbing wall there. Goes across. We'll see again standard obstacles if you've been with us for a while. So you'll see a Hercules hoist, Stairway to Sparta, Atlas carry, beater.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So to keep going there, we got 7 foot wall, Olympus, Bender, and chain carry. Chain carry has actually been a new one for a lot of folks, and there's a lot of different strategies. Miles, have you encountered a chain carry in your
I
racing yet?
have in Greece, so it's new to us here in America, but they've been doing it in Europe since the beginning. So it's
Hmm.
nothing new to them. I'm not as easy to pinch your fingers. You got to be careful, but it's not that bad. It's actually
Yeah.
if you can
Yeah.
not let the chain swing and throw off your momentum of moving, and you can hold it close to your body, not bad at all. Maybe better than the sandbag carry. It's a preference. It'll be a subjective matter. I'd actually like to. Matter of fact, down in the comments, everyone, please let me know what you prefer. Tell me I'm full of it. I'm going to say chain might be easier than sandbag. You got to let me know. Call me out if you think I'm
Well,
wrong.
I mean, I feel like it's not apples to apples because you've got the sandbag carry being a longer loop with the chain being just a short, you know, 10 meter up and back.
Yeah. Well, I
But
mean, it could change.
I think
It,
it would
it,
be it'd be interesting if we saw a chain carry that was like a sandbag carry, like a 400-meter chain carry.
oh, they did
That would
that in
be.
Greece. It
Did they
was
really? All
chain to
right.
sandbag to chain, and you had to take it like over the wall. Any combination you could possibly fathom, they've done. I promise you.
Cool. Cool. All right. Yep. Moving on to past the chain carry, we've got looks like a second barbed wire crawl. I think it says barbed wire crawl 2 because there looks like there might be a barbed wire crawl on the ultra course. That's why it's number 2. So our first one for our beast competitors, and then we go into a nice gauntlet. And then we got a nice gauntlet of rolling mud, dunk wall, slip wall, helix. But actually, back to that barbed wire crawl. I do know for sure the Fayetteville barbed wire crawl is. It looks like some craters like you would never see before. If you were at Palmerton 2023 for that 3K course, you
Yeah.
might know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But
I see the
this is
pictures.
not just a little grass field with a barbed wire crawl. It is, you are going up and down and through some moguls, and it is
Does it look
probably
like
more.
Normandy?
Yeah, it's more rolling mud than the actual rolling mud, I think. But speaking of rolling mud, then you go right into our classic triple combo rolling mud dunk wall, which I do believe is actually a full submersion this time. They haven't had that in the past. And then we've got slip wall helix, which is making a return. I haven't seen that one in a while. Monkey bars, inverted wall, multi rig, spear throw, rope climb, and then A-frame cargo to finish.
No, right?
I'm really hoping, Miles, we see some people on the A-frame cargo, two or more people going up that thing and just throwing themselves off the backside to try to get down there
Yeah,
fast enough. That's what I'm
I
hoping
think we'd
for.
all like to see a close race. We'll see. It looks like everyone, according to those times, I tell you, 143, well, I don't want to give anything up. I
Oh,
don't
whoa,
want to
whoa,
spoil
hold on,
it.
hold on,
Yeah, yeah, I'm
hold on.
giving up the sauce early here, but those sauce, the times are fast. And so I
Times
think
are fast.
we'll see some good competition. So I can't wait to get into the
Absolutely.
race and see how it goes. And then you
Let's
should, I
get
know
yeah,
Tyler, you're there from the Northeast, so you should probably recognize probably more of those athletes than I do. It looks like a lot of these guys might be East Coast. I know we're going to see Adam
absolutely.
Beach. I love to see big things from him.
Yep, Adam Beach, probably our fastest 5Ker in all of Spartan right now, or maybe even. I mean, even when Spartan was very popular, right? I mean he at least was in college a low 15 guy for 5Ks, so that guy can move.
Here we go. Now we're getting into it. All right. Now we're in the meat and potatoes. And keep in mind, by the way, the temperature is about 52 degrees. This is supposed to be a little partly cloudy on this race. So, 54. So, temperature is pretty nice for the race. That's not bad at all. There shouldn't be, the way I understand this course, Tyler, and you could talk more to this, is that it's pretty country. It's very out in the open. I don't think there's a whole lot of cover, so it's probably better it's a little cooler out. I know there's
Look
some
at this.
tall pines.
Yeah, look at this guy in the chicken leg shorts. I don't know who this guy is, but he's freaking jacked. Good God.
Oh, yeah, all these guys are shredded.
Oh my God. All right. We also got Brent Trail, who's typically a Northeast guy who came down to the Southeast for the first time. You see him, yeah, and you see him in a long sleeve. So yeah, you see some rain falling on our athletes as we're getting ready to get started.
You know, I'm excited to see too, Tyler, is John Penland should be there. That might be. That's the young man right there. I believe that's John Penland on the far left there that we just passed. He's a phenomenal OCR athlete. Very young man.
Okay.
He was doing great, and he grew and grew and grew. And I love to see where he's at now. But I think he's one to watch.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Looks like the guy in the chicken leg shorts is Chapman Bowers. Not familiar with him again. And he's not in our series, but again, just was very impressed by his physique, and looks like he's rightfully so at the top of that, right at the front of the start line there. Again, just kind of going to keep identifying some people. I did get a shot of Cassandra Gill, somewhere in the mid there. There's also Imogen Cross. Yep, saw Brent
Imogen
Trail.
Cross is one to look for sure. Keep an eye on her. She's an OCR OG. She's been around a long time. I also love that the women are going off at the same time as the men.
Yep, there'll be people
Very
to chase.
progressive Spartan.
Yep. We've got Kevin Thompson as well. He's also in black. Looks like a lot of people are in black. That's always fun.
I know. I like it. It's easier for you and me when they got tattoos. So they got no shirt on, tattoos, and we can recognize Dustin Needham from a mile away, right? Makes it easier on the commentators.
Right. Yep. You got Mike Strobel there. It looks like he's wearing a purple tank top, black shorts here. Got,
he's having a couple great years. We got Joe Forney doing the national anthem.
Yep. He did it in New Jersey too, and he was at like 583 races completed or something like that. I checked my Spartan stats personally. I was at like 140. I thought I've been doing it for a long time. So
Joe's the GOAT. Joe's the GOAT.
Is a good amount of races. I gotta be doing this for
There's
20
several
years.
others. There's several others, Tyler, have done even more than him.
Oh God. He's so good too.
Yeah. If you go to any of the trifecta world championships, you're gonna meet most of these guys who've been like OGs of OCR. They've been doing it for a real long time. They usually see like in the open wave they do a bunch of races. It's a wonderful OCR family. It's really cool to get to meet them. Joe Forney is definitely one of them.
Yeah, never got the chance to talk to him, but I'm always blown away by his vocals for sure. No lie there. Play ball. All right. Yep. So again, Adam Beach is in the green there, squatted down, looking pretty loose.
Yep, doing a little dance, doing a little jig.
Yep.
Okay, I like the vibes.
Yep. Again, Brent Trail, Kevin Thompson. Again, Imogen Cross, tall lady in the black. Cassandra Gill, not so tall behind Brent Trail. She's in the red. Anybody else we need to be shouting out here right at the moment? I think we got everybody who I know of at the moment. We'll see how it shakes out, and we'll start IDing people if they make a surprise run at the top 5 or 10 here that we can see.
Yeah, they're going to get out hot. They're all looking, they got that nervous look like they're about to fly off the start line.
Absolutely.
It's a beast. I mean, you won't normally see that in a beast. Some people are going to conserve themselves, get out a little fast, but it's a long race, so you want to conserve yourself.
And then again, it is a half marathon. It is a half marathon, and a lot of these guys say they can run a 5K at 5:30 pace. Like they could definitely do a half marathon at 6:15, 6:30 pace for sure. So, and again, they won't be going that fast, but for them, if an 8-minute mile pace is a recovery run, it'll be quick for a Spartan, right? We won't really see these guys walking like we might on a mountain course like New Jersey or like Palmerton, which you'll see in the Northeast. We'll see people power hiking and walking. But in this case, I don't think we'll see a single stride of walking out of our top, say, 10 people.
no matter how Adam Beach places in this race, he already wins for best dance. He's been dancing this whole time, and you know what, man?
Yeah,
I love that energy. I love that
that's
energy.
right.
Best dancer.
Yeah, no, Adam Beach is a great guy. Yeah, I've been racing with him ever since we were doing age group because we're around the same age. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, that was pre-pandemic. So he's been racing for a while. But again, he's honestly a great runner. He's still running really well. So we also got Thomas. I forget his last name.
Tomash.
Tomash. Yeah, we got Tomash. Yeah.
He's one of your buddies from New York, isn't he?
Yeah. I saw him at Jersey too. He also raced there.
Oh, Jersey. Okay.
So yeah, a lot of these guys. You got Tomash. You got Mike, Brent. All these guys raced last weekend a New Jersey Beast course. Some of them did the Beast and the Super, and then they're racing again here. So race number 3 in 8 days. Definitely impressive for sure. All right. Let's see who gets off hot. We got Paul Massey really taking it off hot.
Yeah,
Again,
he's really getting
blue.
out fast.
Yeah, he is. He's super quick. I mean, we saw him in Dallas. Smoke the field.
Look how fast Cassandra's getting out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see a repeat of what happened in Dallas.
I know, right? It looks like I saw Chapman Bowers out there. It looks like he's wearing some sort of road shoe, which is definitely surprising. But he might be a newer guy for sure. Yep. Okay. Yep. So we've got so we already talked about Imogen Cross, but then we've got Jess Shepard. She's in, I'll just say, the red vest there. Now she's also wearing a red shirt too. I think she is.
Yep. She's one to watch.
Yep. And then Louisa is next to her in the pink. And I'm not sure who the other woman here is in all black.
Yeah, Cassandra Gill seems to be sending a message to the ladies' field, getting out hard and fast right in the beginning.
Well,
I've been winning the past couple of years. Stay behind me is what she's saying. Yeah, she is.
She's quick.
Also, props to her. She's shorter. She's shorter, and she's still the fastest. That's props to her. I feel like the taller people don't gotta take as many steps, you know, as a shorter guy myself.
Yeah, as a male competitor that usually comes in somewhere the 7th to 10th place range, I'm usually watching my back to make sure Cassandra Gill isn't coming out of nowhere on me.
Right,
she's usually right on my tail, making me nervous. Now, there's usually a goal, right? As a male competitor to beat all the at least beat all the ladies, and it's definitely Cassandra Gill makes that very challenging. Many races. Once again, holy smokes! Look at Paul Massey.
Oh, nice.
Whoever that guy was, I couldn't tell who he was right away, but he slid.
Was there an obstacle there? That was cool looking though. I dig it. It looked like they're playing Call of Duty. They're sliding around.
It looked like one wire to go under, but wow, this is pretty
weird one. Does it count as an obstacle?
Wow, I am impressed already by Paul Massey here.
Yeah, look at that stride. What a beautiful cadence. His form is
actually
great.
looks a lot like this course was reminding me so far of West Virginia a good bit. Just kind of that open field that a lot of times we start off on. But yeah, so we already got a split over at Hurdles, which is cool, and we're getting it live as it comes through. So, I mean, you've got in the top 5, Paul Massey, Chapman Bowers, John Penland, Adam Beach, and Kevin Thompson. Currently your top 5 pack. So it looks like Paul Massey's got a bigger lead than he does, just a 2-second lead, but again, it's 2 minutes into the race. And then for our women through Hurdles, we got Cassandra Gill with an 8-second lead on Imogen Cross, with a 17-second lead on Jessica Shepard. So definitely a good bit more spread out. Who's also right tied with Louisa Barteldes.
Yeah, this course reminds me, it's very Savage Race-esque. I know a lot of the Savage Race races, even when they were more prevalent, would happen at the ranches. Not so much like mountain courses or out in the middle of nowhere. It's very on ranches usually, and that's exactly what this course looks like.
That's right, yeah. And then we got Petra Costa, who's in the all black, currently in 5th place, about 30 seconds back from Cassandra up to the hurdles. Looks like another. I don't know if this guy's wearing road shoes too, but a couple of road shoes out here.
Yeah, that'd be surprising. That'd be a newbie mistake. For everyone watching, you want to come do these. Look, keep in mind, we're watching the elite field. These ladies and gentlemen are fantastically fit and fast. but there is very large, many open waves that you can come and give this a shot yourself. It is a lot of fun. You want to get out of your comfort zone and go do something different? Get off the phones and the screens and go push yourself. Do something hard and grow. This is a good way to do it. Sign up for one of these races. We got plenty of coverage. If you want to see what the other ones look like, make sure you like and subscribe and follow the OCR report. We have a Patreon. Oh, there's a discount code down below if you want to sign up. One of these races, they're an absolute blast, and even better is the community. Very supportive. And we also have, you want to see us bring you more races. Like, this is the last race in the South Series. We couldn't make it to all the races, but if you'd like to see even more races, send our producer to all the races. Make them go to all of them. So make sure you donate to the Patreon, sign up. We have benefits for that. And at the very least, it doesn't cost anything to like and subscribe, leave a comment.
Yeah, looking at some technical running here. Again, I got to do it last time at City Field. A good bit of technical running there. But being a rabbit, again, not easy, especially when it's a single track trail. And also for those of you who aren't aware as well, we are going to see a little bit of skippage, as we've seen a couple times here, because this is an edited broadcast. So we may not see every single second of the race. So you might see that race clock jump and you might see a different scene than you were looking at previously. But that's just because on a very long beast race like this, you can't get to every square footage. But we did just see Cassandra Gill and Imogen Cross go by this little fence area here that looks like our rabbit is trying to chase down Imogen on. Looks like a little bit flat running, but we're about 7.5 minutes into the course. Looks like Cassandra and Imogen are 1-2 for the women.
Tyler, I might argue it's even harder to be the rabbit. And when you hit the bushwhacking section, like in the previous area we were just watching, when you're running and you're competing in this, you can move stuff out of your hand. Vines, weeds, stuff like that. You can move with your hand. Not when you're holding a camera. It doesn't work as easy. It makes it that much more difficult. And then not to mention you got weight in your hand, so it throws everything off. It's actually quite difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're ever interested, if you think you're fast enough, if you think you're smarter than a fifth grader, and you think you can be a rabbit here, definitely looking for more folks to rabbit these courses as well. The more people we have, the better coverage we can bring you as well. So
absolutely.
We greatly appreciate our rabbits who are all volunteers at this. So, thank you again. We wouldn't be. Yep, we got a free race code if you do that. So, we definitely need some people to do that here. Speaking of running together, we've got.
How many people are out here, Tyler? How many people are out here watching their loved ones, and they're just standing there in the festival areas for a couple hours, 3-4 hours? Hey, you might as well sign up, be a rabbit, get some exercise in, and get a free code, then come back and run it with your loved one, right?
That's right. Oh, we got a little shakeup on the men's side here. We got Chapman Bowers taking out a little bit of a lead on Paul Massey, but right in that front pack, we still got Brent Trail, Adam Beach, and Kevin Thompson. Got a little bit of a up and over kids obstacle, but still a little rhythm breaker here. And then right behind that lead pack, that might be John Penland. Right behind them. And then Mike Strobel. Mike Strobel, man, he always starts off pretty slow, but then he just slowly picks off people. He just picks off. You think you're like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm ahead of Mike Strobel. This is a good day for me. And you're about halfway through the race, and he just comes flying by you, like you were standing still, and you're like, thought I was doing good.
He's a hunter. He likes to hunt. Some people are like that. I don't necessarily like the feeling of being hunted, so I get the idea. But yeah, Mike Strobel's seasoned, man. He's been doing it for so long, so he just knows.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's easy to run that race like that. Yeah. Oh, here's Tomasz.
See a little rainfall.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Making the course probably a little slippery.
Good. Wow. Nice. That was the fastest we've seen up and over that.
Yeah. No fear. Tomasz doesn't really swing his arms as much as I thought he would, but that makes for an interesting run for him. But it's working for him. Still waiting on some ladies to come up and over this, but this is a great spot for the rabbit to stand. Oh, speaking of ladies, here we go.
There we go.
Here comes Cassandra Gill.
Right? See, usually the ladies are always a little more conservative.
Well, but I mean, you got to go figure that Cassandra Gill probably has given up six or more inches on most of these male competitors here that she's with. Yeah. So That makes the stepping a little more challenging, but she picks it up right back again. Maybe takes a little recovery too. I mean, she's not as fast to parkour her way over those steps, but lets her heart rate slow down a little bit and gets back to running. Not a bad idea.
She's got our rabbit working for it. They're flying. Yeah. They're moving really good. She's making the rabbit. The rabbit is starting to lose pace with her. She's doing great.
That's right. Yeah, she's incredibly fast. No doubt. I hope she pursues the whole series. I know she usually goes to Morzine for the Ultra, but she doesn't really do that many Ultras throughout the year, except for that one. So I would really like to see her at Pan Am. Oh, it's gorgeous. That's on my list for sure.
Me too. And what a race, man.
Yeah. All right, here we got Twister. Here we got coming up Adam Chapman, and Paul, Brent, and Kevin all neck and neck. So this is great. Top 5 all right there. That's what I like about these flatter courses. You're not going to see as much separation usually, so it makes the obstacles pretty exciting. We got Paul, Kevin, Adam, Chapman, and Brent all through it. Now, Kevin actually, I believe he works full-time at a Ninja Warrior gym. I actually do usually see him at some Ninja Warrior competitions that I've been a part of, so he's going to have no problem on the obstacles, even when wet, for sure. There's John getting through Twister. Mike getting through Twister as well. Yeah, he is. Yep. Mike Strobel the Hunter, like we said, right?
That's right.
I think we might hang out here for a little while. So this guy here is in 8th place. Sorry, I don't know his name. And then we got 9th here as well. So again, all pretty tight, within.
Oh no!
It looks like 8th place might have he might have slipped off. That's too bad.
Well, he took. I'm not sure so much as he fell off. As he took the hardest possible way. Did you see him locking off at a 90? But with arms up at like an H up here like this and both arms. I don't remember the last time I've seen someone do that. It's not very efficient. That's very hard to sustain that like that.
Yeah, he came off kind of out of nowhere. That was surprising. All right, here we got a pretty good race going as well with Louisa and Jess.
Good job. Way to go.
So I believe that they're still behind Cassandra and Imogen at this point. So this appears to be the battle for 3rd on the ladies' side. Again, we're about 13 and a half minutes into the race. Oh, here's another. Cassandra taking some time to
same technique.
Fix some gloves here. Again, yeah, these with some rainfall we already seen today, these obstacles do appear to be very wet. Oh, look at that strength. Cassandra Gill, I actually live near Cassandra Gill, and I've seen her climbing at a rock climbing gym that I've been at. So she's definitely super strong. You can just see her bicep from all the way over here.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Meanwhile, you've got Imogen Cross. Seems to be making up some time, though, on her. Yep, Cassandra Gill's got it. Nice.
You have to ask Cassandra Gill if she has a permit for them guns. That Python's doing the work.
That's right, yep. And looks like Imogen also went with some gloves as well.
Maybe a smart move today as it's rainy. That might be. I'm usually against the gloves, out of that, man. But it might work today.
Oh, Louise is right there, and Jess is right there as well. We've got a pretty exciting race on our hands so far on both sides. Oh, that man just fell off.
See, the gentleman there in the middle, this is my favorite technique. Raising up your knees, going backwards.
Like a ball.
Yeah. You can move in that center of balance further up. Helps you traverse horizontally.
Yep. Jess makes it through. I think Jess made a pass here on Louisa on the twister here. And, yep, Louisa's got it as well. So we've got no fails out of the top, say, at least 8 men, and no fails out of the top 4 ladies either here.
Does this gentleman have a pair of khakis on? He looks like he got some street shoes and some khakis. The gentleman, he just came from the boat festival. He's like,
maybe he's got
to try a Spartan race. Why not?
Maybe he's got church after this or something. I don't know. He's at work. Yep. All right. Here are the guys I was talking about before. Looks like we are starting to catch some ultras here with some of our top male competitors. You see the ultra folks wearing purple jerseys. So for those of you who aren't familiar, the guys and girls in the purple jersey are going to be doing 2 laps of the course and then plus a little extra ultra loop. So it's intended to be a 50K race. Generally, I think the winning time here was for the men elite was around 5 hours. So a very long race here, but they'll be sliding on past. Generally speaking, these guys will say on your left, and they'll get right on out of the way. But yeah, you got Adam and Chapman Bowers. Like I said again. I mean, anybody running with Chapman Bowers this deep in the race now. Again, looks like actually, if you look at our time clock, we were talking about the 15-minute mark. Now we're sitting here at the 45-minute mark. So we've maybe done a good amount of wood running. We're not too sure on their current mileage here, but based on their pace, you'd have to guess they're somewhere in that 4 to 5 mile range here, or probably even better, maybe 6. That's Paul.
He's moving.
We also looks like we got some.
Yeah.
Looks like we actually also got some deals on some OCR gear. So visit Amazon.com/shop/the OCR report or scan that QR code so you get some sweet deals. And looks like I saw a pair of VJ shoes, and I don't think last time I checked you can't get those VJ shoes anymore in many places. So you might have to go onto the Amazon.com link to snag yourself a pair before they're too good, before it's too late.
Yeah, those are great OCR shoes. We were just talking about some people need some shoes. They can watch this and they can go, oh, that's where I get them.
Got Brent Trail there taking a goo here. Seems like he's got a similar strategy to me. It's about the 45-minute mark. It's usually my game plan.
Yep, good form too. Upright carriage. Look at him. He looks very comfortable.
Oh yeah, Brent Trail is an incredible runner. He lives in New Hampshire, so he's actually traveling down for this race here. He's got just an incredible trail system in his backyard, and he just does loops on it. Like, everyone wants to know what his training is like, and I've tried to pick his brain about it in the festival area. And he's just like, yeah, sometimes I run it easy, sometimes I run it medium, sometimes I run it hard. Like, yeah, sounds
nice.
Doesn't really have much of a, but whatever he does, man, it works.
Yeah, I mean, New Hampshire is beautiful. Don't they have there's a famous trail system up there, the President's Trail, something like that?
Yeah,
right,
President's
it's
Traverse.
pretty legendary.
Right, yeah.
President's
It's the White Mountains,
maybe.
10 peaks. Yep, usually takes, it's a big accomplishment to do that in one day. It's about 10,000 feet of elevation gain, I believe, something like that. And usually it takes hikers, 15 plus hours to complete that. Runners maybe more. I know Atkins has done that trail before in like 5 hours or something ridiculous, but that's Atkins, so it doesn't count. Atkins doesn't count.
Yeah. Yeah. You can imagine me sitting here in Texas with my window, looking at the inside from the outside with my face pressed up against the window and looking at these mountain races and these trails.
Okay.
I wish I had some. I wish I had these trails.
Right.
I wish I had these mountains.
Right, here again, we get Kevin Thompson. Again, Kevin Thompson is super talented athlete living in the Carolinas. Again, I believe he is a head manager or head coach at a Ninja Warrior gym in the Carolinas there. So a local race for him. And yeah, super fast, and he's not going to have any trouble on many obstacles here. But he's got a good sea of ultras he's trying to get around. A dog also running the ultra.
That's impressive.
Sure. Hopefully he might be in first
on a
place.
3-mile loop.
He might be in first place in his division, I hope. Get a nice age group award.
Okay. Both those guys decided. Usually, when you got someone right next to you like that, neither of you want to stop. But they both said, "Yeah, I could use a little drink too."
No, I mean, in a beast course, I definitely would be hard pressed. If you're not carrying water, you should probably be taking water. It is a chillier day, but it's probably still pretty humid.
Ooh.
I don't think he saw. I think there was some wiring that he did not see.
Yeah, barbed wire maybe.
Interesting. Yeah, because I saw Chapman jumping.
Oh, it wasn't barbed. We're hearing from the producer. Okay, that's good news. Glad he's not hurt.
Yeah, but goes right back in front of him there. Yeah, I'm trying to get a glance at what Chapman's shoes are because they are definitely not. They're definitely not trail shoes. Are they? They might.
I'm digging the American flag short though.
I have a pair of those. They're nice. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
These literally look like alpha flies. I could be wrong,
I cannot tell.
but the Alpha Flies uniquely do have like a little bit of like a hole in the middle of them, which makes it even weirder for an OCR because even when I do a road race, like that's my preferred marathon shoe of choice for a road race. But you might get like a few pebbles or a pine cone in there. So I can only imagine trying to do a trail in these. But they are, like I said, they are nice and cushioned and good super shoes. So whatever it's, if you're running 51 minutes into a race with Adam Beach and what appears to be maybe one of his first races, because again I've never seen this man before. It's something.
He's fit though. He looks like he's made for OCR though.
Oh, absolutely.
And I bet you any money he's going to be doing more. If this is his first, there'll be many more. If he's hanging out with Adam Beach and he's pushing this hard.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's yeah, I mean he immediately caught my attention at the at the start line with his, pretty impressive physique. So again, hopefully we see more guys like that because that's impressive stuff. Yeah, for sure. All right, zooming on over to 54 minutes into the race here. Hanging out at a nice little creek cross, or is that a creek crossing, or just like the view we got going on along the side? Yeah, looks like the course is more over that way. Waiting on potentially some more people to come through here. Up here's Paul again. My guess is Paul is in third right now, if assuming Adam and Chapman are 1-2, and then we probably got a battle for 4 or 5 with Kevin and Brent. Is I think where we're at currently in the men's field.
Yeah, you can hear Alf. He's moving so fast, you hear a rabbit breathing pretty heavy to keep up with him.
Oh yeah, here we got a split here at the overwalls. So again, I think we're coming up back towards the festival area, but we're still only about halfway through the race for the men at this point at 55 minutes in. So they were flat tied at the overwalls.
And it looks like some not very undulating terrain. This is very runnable, flat terrain. Beautiful scenery.
Look at this. We got a party going on over here.
Yeah, we do.
All right. I like this guy's pink outfit or whatever.
Yeah, there's definitely a group of people that know each other.
Yeah. This is might be part of the age group wave here. But yeah, also while we were getting distracted by his outfit, we've got Paul Massey through the overwalls at 55:34, and then Brent Trail through it at 56:16. So he's about a minute 15 back. Oh, there he is.
Wow. Nice, man. He's flying. Way to make it through
Absolutely.
Pretty slippery. It's a lot of mud. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why you need trail shoes for these races. That is the best example I can present you.
If you're waiting on some ladies to come through here, potentially. Oh, here's Tomash.
Let's go, guys.
Making it on through. And another gentleman, not too sure who he is personally, but he's doing a good job. Oh, Tomash is a little stumble. All right.
Just a very peaceful, serene photography there, right? A little scene. You can hear the water flowing. Beautiful green.
Cassandra Gill coming through. Come on, Cassandra, assert your dominance. Assert your dominance.
Push him down.
She's probably a little nervous and afraid of it. Yeah, of course, you don't want to. But yeah, no, they'll these are, you gotta keep in mind too, a lot of these ultras they're passing are open ultras as well, so they're not in a competitive setting, so they will absolutely get out of your way. That is, they're instructed to do so, knowing there's a national series race with money on the line, so, but she's just too nice for that. But meanwhile, as we were talking about, as we were talking about Cassandra, we also looks like we got a split on Kevin Thompson at the overwalls. I believe he's about 2 minutes off the lead at this moment. So it's starting to widen up here for the men. Be curious to see what kind of lead Cassandra's working with for the ladies.
Cassandra is feeling good today. Like she really got out fast, and she's been holding this lead. Cassandra also raced in New Jersey. And she took third place there.
So she didn't race the super, probably a smart move on her part, but still 2 back-to-back beasts. A good amount of travel for her for this race. She is from the Westchester County, New York area, so definitely impressive stuff.
Cassandra making our rabbit work for it. Okay, we got another split. We're gonna split back to this cool little scramble.
Yep, and here's Imogen Cross coming through. Again, Imogen Cross definitely more focused on the hybrid stuff, but I know she's local to, I believe she's in the DC area, so probably not too far of a drive for her to make it down to Fayetteville. So glad to see her out on the course. I do believe she's qualified for World Championships at the age group level in High Rocks. Here's a helper. We got B Smile 7 at 1:0, a little shy of 1:02 for Imogen. So for those of you who are not might not be math oriented, Imogen is averaging about a 9-minute pace here, which for a Spartan race course that's impressive.
Yeah,
sure,
before
right?
a beast. It's gonna be a longer.
That includes like her time is still running when she's doing obstacles or doing carries or anything like that. So definitely good stuff. It oftentimes, it's. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Tyler, this isn't like most of the flat fast courses we see. This is an interesting one where it does seem to be a good mix between the flat course and the undulating terrain. Right, you notice that like we've seen some of the scrambles up the dirt. We've seen a bunch of rocky areas. A lot of these areas, we're talking about like a Jacksonville sprint or something like that, where it's not so much undulating terrain. It's faster, flatter. This seems to be a very good mix for difficulty and the technicality of the terrain.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this course. Highly recommend it. And oftentimes too, for my northeast friends, you'll be like, "Oh, where can I do a nice ultra that is not too we're not looking at a Killington or a New Jersey." And Fayetteville is definitely, it's probably about a 10-hour drive from your northeast town, but definitely if you want something a little bit flatter, that's the way to go. So while I was kind of going off on that ramble there, we've got a split with Cassandra Gill. I believe it said, if I'm remembering correctly, it said about 1:03 through the overwalls, and it looks like Imogen Cross might have just gotten through that at 1:07. So if I'm not mistaken, we've got about a 4-minute gap between Cassandra and Imogen. Oh, nope. Oh, I'm wrong. 1:04:58. So actually just a 2-minute gap. So, it's going to seem far. Like, it's unlikely that Imogen and Cassandra will be in the same frame again if the lead remains the same. But it's really not that far. We've got still a good amount of failable obstacles in the festival area, as well as a
still have a lot of race left.
Festival area. Yeah, exactly. We're probably still, Imogen did just cross the 7-mile mark. She's probably getting closer to that 8-mile mark. So we're looking at about 65-ish% of the way through the race. Obstacle 8 of 24. So, a lot of, about halfway through our running, but only about a third of the way through our obstacles.
It's a beautiful forest run. This is on a Sunday, correct? This is a nice Sunday trail run like this. Can't think of a better way of spending Saturday. I'm sorry, a better way of spending your Saturday morning.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I like I said again, I love this course. I would definitely do it again for sure.
Everyone seems to be performing so well. It'll be interesting to see how the spear throw mixes. That's always a mix-up at the spear throw. You see some lead change there. We'll see how it goes today.
Yeah, that's actually one reason, Miles, that I wish there was the burpee still. I mean, you could think about some great moments in OCR history that came from the burpee, right? You got the Faye Stenning and Lindsay Webster burpee off at the World Championship in 2016. I'm sure there's other ones, but with a penalty loop, generally speaking, on a failed obstacle, you're not seeing too much lead change. Oh, looks like Imogen might have gone the wrong way. Oh, wow, she corrected herself.
You're doing great.
Okay, nice. Good on her. It didn't say that. That was not clear. She just leaving anything up to chance. That's a smart play. So you've been racing for a long time. She doesn't have race brain right there. She's thinking clearly. But I mean, to her defense, that was not clearly identified what you're supposed to do there. So
Yeah, I think it was just to get around, but I mean, Imogen hasn't been racing for that long, and I mean, we do know, there are no judges there. She could have done anything to get through that obstacle and would have been okay. We're still worried about judges making sure we got burpee form down and we're hitting bells and all that. So I don't think we have to worry here. But way to be honorable for Imogen Cross.
yeah, that's smart.
Oh, it looks like
My
we got a
favorite
little
burpee
bit
off,
of.
though.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna
Tyler,
say as we were
my
talking.
favorite.
Mhm,
Oh, I'm
go ahead.
sorry. No, please go ahead. No, I was gonna say my favorite burpee off is the one you and me commentated on last year, where they were doing the burpees backwards towards the finish line.
Oh yeah. She was like, so they were like hopping back. They were hopping to get closer to the finish line. It was like we could just why don't we just do burpee broad jumps like high rocks over the finish line? Does that count? If we
It's
just
essentially what it turned into, but backwards, reverse. I mean, kind of impressive, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, and I was just going to interject there with the lower third that came up on the screen. I don't know if a producer can bring it back up to talk about it a little bit, but looks like there's some opportunities to advertise with the OCR report. So again, we might be able to read an ad or something like that for you here. So I believe that was the email there was will@theocrreport.com. If you're interested in any inquiry there to advertise, so maybe it might be a gym or some fitness equipment there that could be a good fit for us here.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities. Picking the right equipment and being smart with hydration and fueling, especially in a beast course, super important. You want to make sure if you're going to come and try one of these longer races like a beast or an ultra, you have to make sure you have your fueling plan. Not only have you practiced it, you get used to what you're taking in and at what times. Because everyone is going to deplete different salts from their body, different electrolytes from their bodies in various rates than others. So you really want to make sure you have that dialed in. The last thing you want to do, train for one of these races, show up and cramp. That's many people cramp in these races because they're unprepared for hydration and fueling.
Absolutely. All right, we're gonna get an obstacle here, maybe a carry of some sorts. Yep, a carry. All right, here we got a sandbag carry. I have seen some footage that was pretty long here. Curious to see. One good way to know is if we'll see Imogen, who just picked up her bag. If we'll see Cassandra coming through on the backside. That's kind of a good way to know how long of a carry you've got. Also, a good way to finally see your competition and be like, okay, I finally know where he or she is.
Yeah.
All right, now we've got. Okay, speaking of Cassandra, so looks like we did a little bit of a time jump here, but we're at an hour and 14 minutes there.
I think we're only about 7 minutes ahead. I think the last one is 107. I could be wrong.
It looks like her husband there, Joe Martello, was running through to take some pictures. So Joe Martello takes a lot of photos of some of the top elites and some unique places. He got a great video of me doing the spear throw last week at Jersey, which I'm very appreciative of. So he does all that work, free of charge, and tags us in it on Instagram and puts it up on his website. So we're much appreciative of Joe, and then also Jack Orris, who takes some phenomenal photos working for the OCR report.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Jack does an amazing job.
Yeah, which I think is he also over there kneeling down that's Joe. No, Joe's in the blue there, and then not sure who we got over there taking the photo, but look at Joe run.
Yeah,
like
he can
husband,
run,
like
he can
wife,
move.
right? Good stuff. Speaking of running, here we got some of our top men. We got Adam. Looks like he's alone now, so not sure where Chapman might be, but he is. Here he goes. He's pushing himself here, trying to again. If Adam wins this race, no matter what the other outcome is, he's going to win the series because he did take the win over at Palm Beaches.
Oh, it's a good point.
He will win. Yep, he will win the series. Adam is also your defending 2025 U.S. National Series champion. So
Well, he still has to race in the U.S. National Series race, right? That will crown him the champion.
Yeah, well, so there is going to be no series champion here except for the regional ones. There's not going to be an overall series champion. But there will be, of course, Pan Am Championships. Not sure if he'll plan on going to that one, but shall see. All right, we got. So he's gone into the distance again.
We got a little Blair Witch action going on there. A little Blair Witch.
Right. Right.
Except for without scary monsters, and you got just OCR athletes. Just more people running in the woods. Just not away from stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, when do you race? You were out running me, man.
Yep. You can see Joe moving pretty darn good, too.
No? It's going to be nice tomorrow, though.
I'll have to see how I feel.
Huh.
New Jersey's soft, man.
Oh, you did run the course?
Hear the voice of our producer there, Jason Dupree.
Yeah,
out there producing and getting video.
And his wife. Yep. Yep, he does it all over here.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll make it.
He's the man.
Oh, sweet. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Let's go, Adam!
That young man is moving at a good pace for Ultra.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Looking good, baby.
Let's get it.
Look how well marked the course is, too, by the way. I love... Okay.
Here's Chapman Powers. So it looks like we get a little bit of a loop going around and then into the chain carry.
It's very short.
Hard to tell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, like I'm saying, that's why I think we need the chain carry to be much longer, like a
way
whole
longer
loop situation. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
no doubt.
That doesn't even seem like it constitutes as an obstacle. That was a small inconvenience. I wouldn't call it an obstacle. Seriously. It's an inconvenience.
What'd you say, Jack?
There's Jack.
And there's our photographer, Jack. Yep, so pretty good gap between Adam and Chapman here, but here he comes around towards the chain carry. And then a pretty good gap to the next guy, whoever that might be, coming up in third. Probably Paul if we haven't had a lead change.
Yeah, I love how well the course is marked, though. Sometimes they just tie a ribbon on a tree branch, and it's easy to go off course when they do that. But this course looks very well marked.
Still trying to get now he's in this chain carry. I'm still trying to get a look at his footwear. Hard to tell exactly what we got going on still. Probably because of that mud too, but whatever it is, it's working for him. But again, I'm pretty sure it's a road footwear. Again, very impressive stuff what he's doing here. We'll be curious if we get any more information.
Yeah. I miss the days when we'd see Ryan Woods and Brian out at the Carolinas. This would totally be a race that they show up for. Yeah, Gawitsky. Just the absolute OCR legend.
Yeah, I mean we know Ryan Woods is aging athlete there. As far as top end, but yeah, he was so fast. I mean,
there's no way he's still not competitive. There's still no way he's not hanging or beating these young guys. He's still really fast. Absolutely.
He, I do believe he showed up to a race a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, in Asheville.
Okay. Okay.
So that was pretty cool to see. But unfortunately, as we know, if you've been a fan of the sport for a long time, the payouts are just not where they were back 10 years ago. And some of those guys who were really, some of these guys were going full-time OCR athletes, right? And I don't think we really have any full-time OCR athletes. And maybe Nicole Miracle, but even still, a lot of those top full-time, in quotes, OCR athletes, they're doing a coaching business or they're working at a gym or something to that nature. So it's not really full-time like it used to be, where you could focus on solely racing and training. Just unfortunately, the payouts, even if you're winning everything, is just not enough to sustain a lifestyle.
Yeah, Ryan Woods, he's a chiropractic, if I remember right. He has his own practice. So I don't think he was ever planning on making a career out of it or whatnot. But yeah, do it for sure. If you're going to compete and, they're offering the prize money, you want to make sure you get that. It's understandable.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a separation now. You're right. It's less
Yeah,
neck to neck.
Not too much to go off of here. Definitely a solid couple minutes gap between everyone here, but definitely impressed by Paul, right? For sure. I mean, he's ahead of some really fast guys. We did see him really dominate at the Dallas race. He's from Oklahoma, so again, pretty
Oh,
cool
interesting.
because of these lower payouts. It's always nice to see someone travel. You like to see an Adam traveling from New York, Brent from New Hampshire, Paul from Oklahoma, right? So that
Yeah.
is again nice to see. Speaking of Brent here, looks like he might be in fourth place here, coming into that little loop.
Good job, Brent.
Yeah, and it
But
doesn't always have to
I
be about
believe-
the money, man. Sometimes it's just the love of this sport, and it's a
Oh,
passion
of course.
thing,
Yeah, of course. If you're doing it for money, like we mentioned, the money just isn't there. So if you're doing it for money, you're you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're gonna be struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. But yep. So there's Brent running through there, and here's Adam back into some open area here. Looks like we might be approaching the festival area for Adam. Yeah, we are. Yep. Here's the barbed wire crawl. Again, only obstacle 14. Again, look at this thing. This is just a behemoth
Oh,
of a
wow.
barbed wire crawl. But look at him go.
Yeah, it is.
Adam Beach and barbed wire are friends. They are absolutely compatible.
They text good morning and good night.
Yeah, they do. He just has no fears with his barbed wire. Like he'll take the back
Wow,
the
he's flying
back
through it.
scratches. He'll bleed for this. Like he does not care, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is. You can just see how many ultras he's going by, and I go, of course, the ultras are pacing themselves for a second loop. But yeah, this is something. Oh, this is an interesting one. Little hop and skip
Yeah,
here.
quite a big.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. It might be one of the fastest scrambles we've seen through that type of barbed wire crawl. Yep, he's going to opt to go on the side there. The sides are usually the safest spot where it's going to be least deep, and you can always grab on the side. You need as much grip as you possibly can. You really want to keep your hands out of the mud. You don't know what obstacles? Well, you may know it depending on the obstacle that's coming up, right? Usually you do know the upcoming obstacle, but muddy hands is going to be deleterious to getting through any grip obstacle if you got full water and mud.
Absolutely. Speaking of full water here, we got a full submersion dunk wall, which again we haven't seen in a little while. They tend to be taking that out lately.
Chase him down.
Oh, here's Mike Strobel right on Brent Trail's tail. Well, look at him go with this chain.
Way to go.
Holy.
Good, make him work for it.
Holy smokes! I know we remember Miles. We talked about Grayson Kilgore with that Atlas carry. Now
Yeah.
that was impressive.
Yeah, I won't forget that.
That I still remember that Atlas ball for Grayson was weightless, but that was also a pretty strong chain carry. One of the strongest I've seen for sure.
That was that same race Yumi were talking about with the reverse burpee broad jumps, but that was where he injured his Achilles heel, maybe? I forget what it was he injured, but he got injured pretty bad.
Yes, he did get injured.
Still
We had
finished
to
the
watch
race.
him. Yeah, we had to watch him fight through that race for a podium still, but it was definitely started to get ugly for him when he was running there. All right, now. Yes, yep, that was Utah.
That's a different technique. Okay. I mean, not illegal.
Yeah.
They're not
No, it works. He's got to be off the ground. Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Looks like he's definitely hurting a little bit, but again, he's still putting
For
up
sure.
a good race. So, yeah, that's it. We got a pretty good pack still for 4, 5, 6. We still got Brent Trail, Mike Strobel, and Kevin Thompson up in that lead there. Spoiler alert too, since we're not following it, I did see that Kevin Thompson did win the Super on Sunday. So again, that just kind of goes to show what kind of racer he is. The fact that he is winning these races. So Chapman with no fear right through there. Nice. Yeah, he is. I mean, those are those road shoes kind of starting to fail out on him a little. All right, now we got the Helix here. We haven't seen this in a while, so if you're not familiar with what this one is, he's got to traverse across, can't touch the ground, obviously. Someone has like some plexiglass panes there, but he's going to go through and brace himself on the different angles there. Try to reach across.
You're not allowed to grab the top.
Yes, yep, that's correct. Yep, can't grab the top, so you see what he's doing here on the sides is perfectly legal.
And he's not very short, so that's pretty easy, straightforward obstacle.
Yep. And it looks like oh, this is also a nice pace here. This chain carry too. Looks like that's John Penland there. So he appears to be in 7th place. Not too far from that mid chase back, and this is still points, right? So not sure where this is going to shake up. I know we have Brent Trail as our leader for the Southeast Series at 564 points. So with Brent still being in this mix in 4th, he could definitely show some movement, even if we got Adam here kind of locking away a win.
You know, Tyler, if you look closely at Adam's hands there, it almost looks like he's like singing and dancing as he's running, like he's got a tune in his head. Did you see his hands were kind of vibing and moving like,
yeah,
he's got a song in his head.
He very well might be, and it's funny you say that too, because I always like to run with headphones as well. So when I'm not running with headphones in a Spartan race, I will see myself singing a tune, gonna get through the pain.
Or he could be talking to himself. Who's gonna carry the boats, Adam? Who's gonna carry the boat?
Carry the boats and carry the logs, right?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Stay hard.
I'm carrying. Who's gonna carry the chain and the sandbag and the bucket and the log? And
Yeah, right.
I think we can make a song out of that.
Yeah.
Who's
all right,
gonna
drop a
carry
nice
the
beat.
log and the chain? Yeah, there we go. Subscribe to the Patreon. We'll get Jason Dupree, our producer, to make a jig.
All right, so Adam's going by that. Adam's going right by the water there. I'm sure he thinks he's close to the end based on what his watch is telling him.
The most awkward place for that little wire. We've seen a couple spots where they've had to like step over or possibly have to go under a wire. It's not clear, but weird spots for wires.
I think it's just if there's any animal shows or anything like that at these farms, maybe something like that, and then I keep the animals at bay.
Yeah, but there's not so many wires that'd be difficult for an animal to get around.
Try to keep up with him.
Oh, they're electric wires. Yeah, that makes sense.
Here's Paul Massey going through the dunk wall there. Still sitting in 3rd. I think there's still a pretty comfortable lead between him and Brent Trail at the moment, but I think we'll really see when we come down to the spear throw, which is going to be coming up here pretty soon for Adam. We'll be able to see what's going on, and if we have any makes or misses that might shake things up for us.
Speaking of cramping, you saw that gentleman right there. That's what happened.
Working out something with his hip or his IT band or something like that. Yeah.
And I was saying that it's very easy running and non-technical, and a lot of these spots good for fast running. But you can tell what the rain is doing there. It is making it a little muddy and a little slippery, even on this part of the trail. You can see all the footprints.
Yep, absolutely. Because there are still a good amount of ultras that are ahead of Adam, right? I mean, we got some pretty fast ultras who had a good head start on him, so he's kind of mixing up with the age group ultra crowd. But we've got several ultras already through this part of the course here.
This is really cool for the people coming to watch their loved ones in the festival area. We've passed through the festival area quite a few times. It's really nice for people coming to watch their loved ones to get a chance. Oh, there's so and so. There's Adam.
Yep.
Way to go, Adam.
Absolutely.
It mean a lot to the athlete. You know what I mean? Have your family. You hear them in the background rooting you on. Oh, it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, he's coming up. Adam's coming here to the multi-rig here. It's looking pretty crowded, speaking of ultras. I hope he can find a good lane for himself to get on one.
Okay, and this is a pretty easy one. You'll see this a lot of Spartan where it's about 3 rings to a bar, a horizontal bar, and then 3 rings to the bell. Very easy, especially if you got this technique. This should be very easy.
Yep.
There you go.
Looking
very
good.
natural.
Yep, no problem here. All right, here's Cassandra Gill. Haven't seen her in a while. Unsure exactly where she's at in the race course, but
Oh, this one's broken.
okay, here's Adam at the spear. Looking to avoid some burpees and lock up this win. See what he's got here. Nice. Ooh,
Man, nice. Wow.
That was a dart. That was a bullet.
maybe we're wrong about the trail shoes. Second place elite male did it with the road shoes. Props to
Yeah,
him.
he did. Yeah, but maybe does that mean Chapman Bauer is going to be even more threatening with actual real trail shoes? Because
He
they're right
might- he
footwear,
might
and we're
double
really,
down.
and everyone's really screwed.
He might show up in Crocs next time. Be like, you know what? I could do this in Crocs too. He might do it just to spite
Right.
you and I. Right? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Here's John Penland. Yeah, so pretty
Alright,
close
John.
between all these guys here for sure. No doubt. But speaking of close, we got pretty close race between Cassandra and Imogen here. Looks like we got about a minute or so at the chain carry. Yep, she's just gonna pick it up and leave it on her side. Imogen actually was a Spartan Pro. She's been doing it that long when that was the thing, pre-COVID. So you see
I
her.
wonder
She's
if
still
that's
got the custom
why-
headband.
I wonder if that's why Cassandra got out so fast. She knows she can't give Imogen a lead.
Oh, that's very illegal on the ultra guy.
Very
illegal.
The gentleman must be
That-
unaware of that.
Yeah. That's,
Oh no, he
that's
doesn't know any better. Oh no, he's trying to
an
put his foot in
extreme
the
safety hazard.
yeah.
Oh my god, I'm more nervous about this ultra guy than I am about Paul.
I know. I totally missed him in the background.
Hopefully he's all right. Hopefully that gentleman reads the rules next time. Because he is wearing a red headband, not
Yeah.
not for nothing, right?
That's a no-no.
Yep. All right, so Paul's going to try to hit this and seemingly lock up third place. He's got all the cameras on him. No pressure here, Paul. He missed in Dallas. Will he hit? Yes,
Wow,
he's got it.
nice.
Nice
Everyone's hitting it.
Fistelli fist bump and everything.
He almost lost it. That almost fell out. It was a little sideways.
Yeah. Look at him again, also too, like you mentioned with Adam, just sprinting through, right? Doesn't want to leave anything to chance now. Gonna lock up this third place, so we'll have Adam Beach in first place, Chapman Bowers in second place, and Paul Massey in third place.
Let's see what kind of technique
Whoever's
he
ro-
does. Everyone has a different little bit of a technique on the bottom, on the other side of the A-frame.
Gonna do a
Okay,
little
that's very
slide
similar
here.
to what I like to do. Yeah, I try to slide down one of the linear pieces of the
One of the
strap.
vertical straps. It's also probably a little wet, which is probably helpful for the sliding too.
Yeah.
All right, there he goes. He's going to come through in 1:48. So about 3.5 minutes back from Chapman, about 5 minutes back from Adam. So definitely
Still
not
killer
super
pace.
close. Yep, here's the here's the top 3 photo.
No, I don't recognize this gentleman from before.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he's an ultra. He looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah,
very unconscious.
I'm not
Wow.
sure where he
This
came
is a
from.
We're on a
He's-
roller coaster with this guy. What the?
Oh,
he
no.
missed. Oh dear. That was. Oh, here's Mike.
Okay, he's gonna. Oh no, he's going for it anyways, bro. He's got a red headband on. You can't do that.
He just
Oh,
didn't do the
no.
penalty loop.
Oh no,
Can you hit-
he's got to be new to this.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, like I said, I don't think we're worried about this gentleman being in the top here. All right. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
Mike and there's Kevin. Again, I'm not sure where Brent ended up. In theory, I thought he was. We didn't see any sort of pass, so I think he's in front still. Yeah, Kevin's nice and long here. No problem on this one.
Yeah, Kevin Thompson is a fantastic OCR athlete. I'm actually surprised to see him that further back. He does really, really well.
Absolutely.
He especially accelerates in the mandatory completion obstacle course races. You'll see him, I think, show up to some of the smaller races. Not smaller races, but the ones that are one
Savage,
time
or
a
I know
year.
we've done. Yeah, we've done
Mythic
the
race
Midwest
or something
OCR.
like that. Yeah, Midwest
Yeah.
OCR, yeah,
Yeah.
and then he'll win those.
Yeah, like I said, he's very good at ninja, so that helps.
Yeah.
There's Mike here coming through in 4th place.
All right, Mike.
So wow, nice. Yeah, so he did make a move on Brent. We just never got to see it.
I never noticed the gong there. Do you see the gong?
Yeah, for sure.
What
I
is
think
the
it might be
gong
to celebrate
for?
the winner. I think celebrate the winner of the series, maybe something like that.
I don't
Speaking of
know.
the
We
winner
got
of the
our
series,
producer can chime in. I gotta know.
speaking of the winner
Let's
of the
go. There's
series, here goes
Cassandra.
Cassandra going under the dunk wall here.
It's terribly cold. That's got to be terribly cold water.
What's going on with that guy's shirt?
Oh, he's
Here's John
tired.
Penman.
It might be a second loop on the.
Yeah, probably not this early. If he was this fast on a second loop, that would be he'd probably be winning the thing. Nice. Good technique out of John. Here comes Kevin, wrapping up 5th place. So yeah, no, Oh, and then it's Brent. Oh, Brent's right behind Kevin. Oh wow. Maybe Brent missed a spear potentially. Yeah, Kevin's looking pretty cooked. I think he had a pretty tough day. But again, he comes back tomorrow and wins the super. So
Yeah, can't win them all, man.
big ups to him. Yep. And then here's Brent.
Yeah, right. Good job.
Yep. All right, we haven't seen her in a while. Here's Jess Shepard.
Yep, she's moving great.
Yep, looking good. And so Brent Trail's going to take 6. So a good amount of shakeup here for the overall standing. So he's looking hurting too. But he also did run the Beast in Jersey and got 2nd for the Northeast Series, the first race. So definitely not surprising. He's a little fatigued coming off 2 hard Beast races in a row.
Coming behind her.
Yeah, she's moving great.
Yep. I got John Penland coming through, finish here in 7th. So, anybody coming top 10 in the National Series race, you got to respect it. Definitely good stuff.
Really great to see John Penland again.
All right. Here's Imogen Cross coming through the dunk wall. I'm curious on the gap at this point here. I didn't get a look at the timestamp when Cassandra's going under. Got about
All
a
of this
minute.
is right here. It can't be very much because it's all at the end.
Yeah, right. So we'll see what happens at the spear. We still got the spear ahead of us for the ladies' race. Imogen, I believe, is not in any of the other races in the series, so not a threat to take the series from Cassandra, but still a threat to take the win. All right, here goes Jess Shepard with Shane Carey here, still sitting in 3rd if we're not mistaken, unless we see Louisa at the dunk wall or anything like that before Jess gets there. We'll have to see what happens
She's
there.
moving great.
Oh yeah, she is.
Knocking off the guys one at a time.
That's right. Rocking some VJ shoes, it looks like.
Yeah, I know she even had the temporary tattoo for VJs on there. Must be a big fan.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe even an affiliate sponsor, but we do sadly know that VJ Shoes USA went out of business, so I usually like to rock the extremes myself, so I'm gonna have to make a shake up there when those are out of mileage.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. They were super popular in OCR.
Yeah.
Great OCR
Yeah, but
shoe.
maybe just less popular in the regular trail community. I don't really know.
But they originally
heard
came
of them
from
until
Europe.
OCR,
I remember
yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Again, yeah. Apologies, we don't know this guy's name. I think he's the 8th guy through here, so we are gonna get his name once we see the overall results. Oh, he missed that ring. Oh, down he goes.
No.
He's got to do the penalty loop. Back to Jess here. Got a lot of red going on. Red hair, red headband, red vest, red shirt. Something with the color red just makes you feel fast, I guess. So here's Tomasz, currently in 9th. So potentially with that guy hitting the penalty loop, maybe there's a chance for him to make some moves here. See what he's got on this one. I think that transition from the bar to the rings is really where most athletes can get tripped up, right? Because it's kind of going down, your weight's on the bottom of it. Got to do a little pull-up to get to that next ring. I think that's the biggest point of contention on that one. But no
so this
problem
does
for
seem
Tomasz.
like this course, Tyler, was a whole lot of running. A lot of wide open running areas.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many places in a beast course they're going to put the obstacles, right? There's some limitations for logistics, so you're going to see in most beasts, you're going to see sections of running where it might be a mile or two of nothing, or maybe only like a wall separating the first couple of miles. I think that was the hardest part of the ultra. I remember when I did it. It was actually really hot the year I did the ultra here, and by that second loop, I was definitely fading a bit because of just how like unengaging the last few miles were with just all that running.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it just seems like less obstacles. Now, this is definitely the technical terrain. I was just saying how there's a bunch of flat, very easy, runnable areas. That is the antithesis of easy running terrain.
Yep, absolutely. All right, here comes Cassandra on the multi-rig. I know she does tend to have some issues on wet obstacles, so hopefully we'll see her get through this one, because I know Imogen is not far. Oh, actually, speaking of issues, never mind. Maybe that might be a thing of the past, because
Is
she's
she rocking the
that
blood
off.
mitts? Is that what she's got on?
Looks she got Blegmans, yep. Nice, nice. Oh, dude, that was great.
Way to go, Cassandra.
Excuse
Nice.
what I said on the obstacle issues, because that was no problem.
Yeah, I think she has this locked up. That'll definitely be your first place female, which I believe lets her win the Southern Series, right? Doesn't she already has one win?
She already has a win, yep, so she'll take that one. Curious what she'll do next. I'm curious if we'll get any info, because I know she came in 3rd place in the Northeast. Alright, looks like this gentleman here is going to be coming through in 8th place here. Is that Tomasz? I can't tell. Might be Tomasz.
We are doing the 1 hour windows now.
Or is it somebody else?
No, I don't think that's too much. That's someone else. Yeah.
Nope, someone else. So again, sorry, I don't know this guy's name. I'll probably get to say it. Let me read off the top 10.
When you're ready to go.
Okay, yeah. So we don't have it on video, I believe, but a little bit of a shakeup. Cassandra Gill ends up missing her spear.
Oh,
So
interesting.
we'll have to
All
see
right,
how
so
that
maybe-
shakes things up.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so we'll see first. I think first things first. Imogen's got to get through this rig. She's got to be clean to have a chance at catching
She's
her.
not gonna miss this rig. She's been doing this too long.
Little extra swing, nice. Hey, you never know. I mean, we've seen some crazier things happen.
True.
Here's
There's
Tomasz, making up 9th place there. Yeah. Interestingly enough, no fire jump at this one. There's been a couple of venues I've noticed that don't have the classic Spartan fire jump. Maybe this guy here might be our 10th place guy. Oh, followed by Cassandra. Oh, there she is. And Imogen's coming up to the cargo net. Oh, wow. So, yeah, we must have had a spear miss from Cassandra and a spear hit from Imogen. I don't think she's going to have enough real estate, though. Nope,
Nope.
she's got it. Yep. She was able to fight it off there. But close. Pretty close finish.
Yeah, she's got to be exhausted. She missed that spear. I mean, she did 30 burpees. Still ended up pushing the rest of the way. The hard push at the end.
Absolutely, yeah.
Some people
I'm sure
have never
she didn't
done
the same
30
energy.
burpees.
It's like you got to the point where you just happy seeing.
She probably didn't have the same energy that Adam had. Adam or Paul or
Yeah.
anybody else who hit their spear, so. But
Yeah, Adam had a
nice
tune in his
stuff.
end.
Yeah. All right,
Alright,
so we've
then
got
look-
our 2 ladies through. Now we got Jess here and seeing if we'll get a sighting on Louisa. We'll probably end up following Jess through the race here if no one else is nearby. So we'll see what she comes up
Yep.
with. Jess has been running for a while too. I definitely do remember her at a good amount of races, but here she's kind of collecting herself before the next series of obstacles.
I think
all right.
Jessica Shepard is our safe third place, most likely here.
Looks like it, unless we get unless we get another sighting of another woman coming through here.
Yeah, she's in good spirits. A smile and a laugh. She knows she's close to the end.
We got another ultra guy on top of the helix. That's always fun.
Yeah, she's no stranger to this obstacle right here. This is a better view than we had before. You can see where it can be a little difficult depending on where you don't always have great areas to grab, and then it looks pretty dirty and muddy, so that adds to how easy it is to slip on it often.
And with the women too being naturally going to be a bit shorter, you're going to have a harder time reaching across like that. But that's going to be the move, right? You're going to want to probably reach across and not utilize the she's getting a little hung up here. She knows she can't grab the top. Move that foot over. Nice. Yep, that'll work. Especially, like I said, we haven't seen this obstacle in a while, so a lot of racers might not be super familiar with it. It's been a little bit. But yep, there she goes.
Great transition back to running. Great transition.
Okay.
It was very smooth.
An object in motion stays in motion, right?
Yep, absolutely. She's carrying a little extra weight. Looks like she's got some pretty big hydration packs in the front there. You can see him bouncing up and down. Like makes it always throws off your running a little bit. Can be, you've got something bouncing on your body. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Fueling with OCR is very tricky because a waist belt tends to get in the way with a lot of crawls and walls and things. Usually, a front of vest with balls on the front is a better bet. But I would say a race of this shortness, you probably don't need it, right? If you have some gels with your carbs, just fuel off those water stations.
Yeah, but Spartan specific, because think about the barbed wire crawl. Anything you have in the front, if you're going to roll through the crawl or even bear crawl through, if you have something behind you or in front of your chest, it really can get caught up on the barbed wire. It makes it very difficult.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, here she goes through the monkey bars. Looks like no problem here. Front-facing grip, so looks pretty good. Oh, yeah. She's got some energy here, you can tell, with the running. She's looking quicker than she did at the start. One advantage, too, though, is she probably doesn't need to visit that water station, or maybe she will. Let's see. Looks like she's going to go past it without going in.
Yeah, well, she's got the hydration on her. She doesn't need it. And she knows she's a mile away from less than a mile away from the finish.
Right, yeah, absolutely. She's right on. She's right on the finish here. She should be in the 5-minute range away at this point. Pretty big gap to Imogen and Cassandra.
Yeah, it shows how fast Cassandra and Imogen were running. Like, they were really flying, because Jessica's no slouch. She's moving pretty good here. This is a 13-mile race. She's moving great.
Yeah, we do love to see the ultras on there, because you see this age group ultra athlete here kind of struggling with that inverted wall, and Jessica goes right up and over. So it does give some good perspective on actually how difficult some of these obstacles are after you've been so fatigued, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do believe she's going to finish this stretch here, turn the corner, and then get into the multi-rig spear throw, all that jazz. So looking forward to seeing how she does there, but if the monkey bars are any indication, she'll probably have no problem with any of the remaining hanging obstacles. It'll just be down to that spear throw. But with no Louisa sighting, I'd like to think she should be good even with a miss. But we'll see.
Yeah, the rest of this terrain looks like it's very runnable, very easy. She's a seasoned athlete. She knows her pace she needs to keep maintaining. She just look down at her watch, like, hey, am I carrying through to my plan? I'm executing on what I was trying to do, and it's coming together for her.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. I think in these kind of races, I don't know about you, Miles, but I like to think that you really just kind of want to maintain a more so of a heart rate goal, right? Because you're obviously going to run a little bit, like right just right there, that little bit of a wetter section here that she's on compared to the drier section, about 100 meters back. She probably dropped 2 minutes per mile, right, on her pacing at that point, but her heart rate probably remains the same. So she
for sure.
I feel like in these races, you just really want to make sure your heart rate is, good range for you. And the more of a seasoned athlete you are, probably the higher that's going to be. More conditioned you are.
I've always been embarrassingly bad at the beast distance. I've never liked it. I've never been a long distance person. So I have nothing to write home to mom about in these races. I've always liked the sprints.
Yeah, my only elite podium is in a beast, so that's more.
Nice, man. Okay.
Yeah,
it's a wheelhouse.
Yep. I actually took 4th in elite here at the Fayetteville Ultra a few years back. I was close.
Oh, nice, man. Okay. Congratulations. That's 4th is respectable. That's awesome, man. In the elite field.
For sure.
Actually, in any competitive field.
Yeah. But trying to get back there, but I mean, man, you see people like, you see Adam Chapman and Paul there, the way they move. It's not easy. It's getting starting to get. Yeah, right. It's a lot of people. I know it's not as stacked as it used to be. We had all the Ryans and Bracken and Kirk and all those guys that did it. That kind of they walked so we could run, but it's still competitive. It's still getting an elite podium. I'd say definitely on the men's side is definitely not easy. On the women's side, I just think there's not enough ladies who are doing elite. Like there's a lot of really good athletes doing age group who should be doing elite, which would make the fields more larger and probably therefore these races a little more compelling to watch. So if you're a lady who's constantly getting podium in your respective age group, definitely take up that challenge. Maybe start doing some elite races.
Yeah, quit sandbagging.
That's right.
We're just getting news from our producer that there were a few women that actually were in the open waves that would have podium. I'm sorry, in the ultra that would have podium had they did competitive. I've always thought women are just much more honest about their capability than men. Men, we always like to count ourselves a little stronger and faster than we actually are.
I mean, maybe they've had a kid or they have kids or something that are confident in themselves, but they should be. They definitely should be. Like I said, if you're placing in your age group, especially if you come back to the same race, definitely, like I said, encourage you to try elite. Nothing wrong with coming in 5th place, 6th place, whatever, right? Here goes Jess with the spear. Bang! Oh no!
I said just not hard enough.
Soon. Oh no! It looked good. All right, here we go. We'll see. Oh, these are nice burpees. All right, I love what I'm seeing.
These are nice burpees. Those are legit.
These are great. People take note. No problems here.
Yeah, she's putting on a master class.
Yeah, and her cadence is great considering she's 2 hours and 16 minutes into her race. Definitely impressive stuff.
She's got that I'm mad I missed the spear throw energy, and she's
right.
Push through these burpees.
Yeah, and speaking of speaking of we were talking about a little bit about the women's elite field there. I think there were only 3 women who did the elite ultra, and there were several women who did age group in the ultra who would have made an elite podium had they stepped on the elite line. So I do think we should have just stuck with the age group and elite together like we did in 2024, but for some reason Spartan decided it was a one-time use.
Be better.
Yeah, they experiment with different strategies. I'm sure they got their reasons for it. I can see that going both ways.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Got great rhythm again still. Yeah, nice. All right, still just kind of looking on the Jessica's checking too. We're looking on the right of our screen here, seeing if we're gonna get anyone coming through here.
So I'll get the video from home and then I'll run.
Probably Louisa, if anything. Gonna have to see here.
Monday night.
And I don't think Jessica was in our.
No.
Oh, nice. She's already through. Yeah, I don't think Jessica was in our series either. I think Petra was the next person. She might have been actually winning the series because she had 2 races under her belt. Again, the results are a little foggy now, 2 hours into the broadcast.
it is hard to run after 30 burpees. And look at her. She got right back into a run, and she tackled the rope climb really easy. Yeah, what a beast.
Absolutely.
Absolute machine.
Of course. All right.
Media crowd's funny. How'd your battery do?
Good enough, but you have enough cars to drive home with GTS. So I'm good.
Cool.
Yep, she's definitely going to be our third place elite female for the last race in the U.S. Southern
I'm
Series
not gonna worry about interviews.
here at
It's been all
Fayetteville,
rainy.
North Carolina.
I still gotta go out and get the camera at the Twister too.
What a beautiful
It's a rainy
venue.
day for us here.
Great race
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Get the footage off your phone.
Yeah,
first.
no, great race, great venue. So.
And it didn't seem like the rain really threw too much of a monkey wrench in people completing obstacles. The obstacle completion was high. We didn't see too many people fall off. The people we saw fall off looked like maybe open waivers or age group competitors. So
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
very nice performance.
Absolutely.
Hey, there's Calderosa.
Yep. Yep. He usually does do the age group series for one of the races. I mean, but he dominates for sure.
Yeah, he may have won the whole race. If he did the elite field, he may have won.
It's very possible. He's like I said, I mean, I
is a
spent
machine.
I spent 3 hours on the Jersey course, and I beat him by 4 seconds. But I spent 3 hours on that Jersey course selling my soul to stay in front of that
That's-
man.
That's what it takes to compete against Calderosa, man. That's awesome.
It's not easy. Yeah.
Not
for
the way
sure,
people
for
say
sure.
they beat him.
I got all the way to the barbed wire.
Yeah. Take it.
So I got it from the barbed wire crawl. I got the entire final.
All right, so your top three here:
So I-
Cassandra, Imogen, and Jessica Shepard.
as soon as I got to the
Unsure if we're gonna see who comes in 4 or 5
I
here.
was like, you
Oh,
gotta be kidding me. What else I never did anything for you?
All right, fantastic, man. Congratulations to those ladies and gentlemen
No different one.
for getting on the podium,
Very-
taking the win.
curious if we'll get any interviews, maybe. No interviews today. All right. Yeah, it is you can see Cassandra shaking a bit there. Yeah, chilly day for sure.
I mean,
She's not the biggest girl. I blame you. These girls are fit.
No.
They don't got a lot of body fat to stay warm out in that cold. I don't blame them.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Cool.
All right.
Great race. Yeah, we're gonna go over results here. Shout out some names real quick. So we did see most of these top 10 come through. We got Adam Beach at 1:43.08. Chapman Bowers 2 minutes back there. Paul Massey about 5 minutes back. Mike Strobel about 9 minutes behind Adam. Kevin Thompson about 10.5 back. Then we got 6th place Brent Trail about 11 minutes back. John Penland about 12 minutes. Then it gets a little bit wider there with Mika Dorfner, 2:01.48. Tomasz Warzenek, 2:03. And Michael Bly at 2:04. So, solid race there. Now on to the ladies. All right, so very close race in the women's top field here. Cassandra Gill at 2:04.24. 26 seconds split between her and Imogen Cross at 2:04.50. Really came down to that spear. Then pretty wide gap here. Jessica Shepard, 2:18.53. Luisa Barteldez, 2:23.54. Petra Costa, 2:43.50. And Laura Selman, 3:08.40. Again, we got 4 spots there that are blank, Miles. So if you're a lady here and you want me to read your name in any capacity, just come on through, And like I said, I think, I'm certain there were age groupers there that were, sub 3 hours that could have been right in there. So
Yeah, have a
absolutely.
little more confidence. Stop sandbagging. You can do this. Push yourself.
Mhm.
You're already killing it in the age group standings. Time to move it up.
That's right.
All
That's
right.
right.
next,
All
I
right.
think
Now we're
we're
going to
gonna
talk
go over. Yep.
series results. That's right. Yep. So we do have the final results here for the Southeast Series there. So we got Adam Beach taking 2 wins, 600 points. Brent Trail, you'll notice this is, technically his worst race in his series. So he didn't score here because just 2 races count. So his top 2 races still netted him 564, followed by Paul Massey in third, 472. Then we had Mike Strobel, Micah Dorfner, Andrew Deonata, Michael Bly, Richard Shin, Cameron White, and Jacob Bailey.
All right.
Now
Nice,
we'll
man.
take a look at the ladies. Again, we know who was at the top there. Cassandra Gill with 600 points. Perfect 2 for 2 there. Petra Costa, 500. Luisa Barteldez, 480. And Janice McDonald, 408. Again, only 4 ladies. Miles, 4 ladies were in the final standings here for the women. So I would love to
You
see
have
this
to show
board
up to a
filled out.
couple races. You could be on the leaderboards. What are the ladies doing? You got to get
Yeah,
to
would
these
love to see this.
races.
Yeah, I'd love to see that happen. So we'll see, Miles. Hopefully this keeps growing. We'll get there.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is
absolutely.
a yeah, it was a great race. Definitely a long one, right? These beasts are always long ones. So thanks for sticking with us if you're still live here this evening. Producer Jason, I believe our next race we're covering is it going to be World's Toughest Mudder? World's
Okay,
Toughest Mudder.
nice.
So I'm
World
not.
Cup. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I know. I think we do may have some coverage for like you said, for 25 hours or so. I know they do some crazy stuff there. So looking forward to seeing how that all goes. I believe that is the end of June, June 27th. So looking forward to seeing how that one shakes out, and then the rest of these series. Miles, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think everyone needs to check out World's Toughest Mudder. That's a special race.
Okay.
For any of you that
Yeah.
might be new to this or you've only done a couple races, World's Toughest is legendary in the obstacle course racing scene. It is 24 hours of some very interesting, unique obstacles of fantastic athletes just pushing themselves for 24 hours trying to hit over 100 miles. Um, don't miss that one. That's going to be a
Yep. I was
special
able to
race.
do it.
That'll
It's
be really cool to watch. So, and then
yeah.
I think
So
it's important that our producer's telling us that it starts in the morning here is where we'll be starting at. So,
yep. So
but I'm sure
you'll
we'll
get.
be. It's noon in the UK, but we'll be posting about it. There'll be more details, but stay tuned to OCR Report. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us. That helps the algorithm get out to more people. And hey, this has been another great time. I love commentating with you, Tyler. Thanks to Jason Dupree and the OCR Report for getting the footage, flying out to these races, getting everyone who volunteered at the races, the rabbits, getting us everything. We can't bring the stuff to you without them. Thank you so much. And hey, keep supporting OCR.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks again, Miles. Good night.